Hello and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining again. If you joined for last week's episode, you will note that we are in the middle of a contract on Field 42. It's for mowing and tedding hay bales. It's worth about 40,000, so that is really important to us because the bank balance is currently sitting at about 600. So having a bit of cash inflow would be great. I am sitting ready to go in the tedder. The mower you'll have just seen appear on the top right hand corner of the screen. That is getting on its way. I have loaded up the course plate already on this. I was going to generate a course live, but then I had worries of, while I'm trying to record and play a game and process course play all on the same computer, it might throw a wobbly and not work out well on the recording. So I've preloaded the course and I'm just going to get it underway now. So this is course play driving, not me. I am just along for the ride, just to check that it's running okay, that we don't need to cut to a sort of different angle with the tedder or anything like that. Check it's not missing any bits. See how wide it's throwing this grass, because we'll need to come round with the windrower, and I'm considering doing a pass off the field with the windrower before we set the course play up for that. But the mower is getting on very nicely at the moment. The tedder will come. The tedder will do like 2 or 3 of these swaths that it's dropping in one hit. Okay, so the Kubota with the windrower is chugging along nicely now. That's just got going and it's just slowly going round, swathing up. I've set it to the same course that the mower ran on because it's only a tiny bit wider. So what it's actually doing is just reaching out that little extra bit and picking up everything that the tedder has thrown out far too wide, and it's just bringing it all back in nicely. I will get the baler going as well, and I'm going to run the baler on this same course again, because that will then pick up the swath very nicely, because it's just following the exact same course that the windrower's been on. You can just see, just in the corner over there, the tedder is just getting ready to move into position to start going up and down the field. So we might have to stop the swaths in a little bit, just because we might be swathing up grass rather than hay, because the tedder's not done a full circuit. It didn't seem any point sending it round multiple times when it was going to miss stuff because the mower hadn't got there yet. Okay, so we've got the tedder going over here. The windrower and the baler are also chugging around. I think probably my biggest regret is setting the tedder off on its own course rather than following, because we're getting little bits in the middle of the rows missed. It's sort of going along its own path. The tedder went a little bit rogue. I've stopped it for now, mostly because I'm trying to just gently keep track of the number of bales we produce, so that we're producing the exact number we need for the contract from hay, and then anything else is left, and what we will do is we will turn that into silage for ourselves. I know it's not the done thing and stealing the farmer's crop and what have you, but ultimately the way the game mechanics work, what's left over isn't counting towards the contract. It's ours to keep, so we might as well, rather than making hay which is actually of less value to us, just bale it up as grass, take it back to our wrapper and wrap it as grass, so that we then get to use the grass to make into silage, which is ultimately of more value to us. So the farmer's not going to use it anyway. We might as well make it into what we need it to be. I think that's fair. Do you know what? If you don't agree with that, stick it in the comments. Let me know whether you think what I'm doing is fair or not. So I'm one bale short on that loader, so I'm just gonna run this baler over, just fill it up and get the extra bale out of it, and then I think it's a few more bales on top of the extra in that loader. Okie dokie, so we're down at the sell point now. It's not British grain that we're using, it is this one just across, which I have lovingly named British Grain-ish. You can either call that a tribute to Sean Connery, or you can call it because it's near but not quite in British grain. I'll leave that one up to you. But we will see how much of our contract is done with this. We are 88% transported now. So, quick drop into our menu will let us know. Let's put the details on. So we have 54,500 litres left to deliver. We are delivering 9,000 litre bales, not 4,000 litre bales like it says there. Which means, some quick maths in my head, that's, well, it's going to be an annoying, a bit more, well, 6 bales and 500 litres. So I think what we might end up doing is just making and delivering 7 of the big bales. I could switch and do the smaller bales and just do a few more of the smaller bales, but I feel like creating more bales is going to create more time. We've probably got enough hay on the field, so I will get that done and catch up with you when we are hopefully on to making some silage. Okie dokie, back again with the final little lot of bales. This is 7 of them, so we should get a little bit of money coming in from this as well, which is great because obviously bank balance minus 1,200. Let's drop them in. Contract complete, and we got £488 in sold bales. Not bad. The baler is currently going round the field baling up grass bales for us. So we will go back and get those collected. Drop down to where we're based and get them all made up into silage. And I'll also, actually, while I'm here now, let me do this. Let's turn traffic back on. Yes, it was one of those journeys I had to turn the traffic off. Contract, no, don't complete the contract yet, because we're still working on the field. And if I complete the contract, then we'll lose access to the field, and we'll lose access to all of our extra silage that we're going to make. Whoops. I did have another thought on courseplay with the Tedder. Obviously this is not my equipment, so I've just used what I've got. But if I was buying equipment to use this sort of setup with, buying a Tedder that's a similar sort of width to the mower, so something in the sort of 10-11 metre range rather than 14 or 15. Is it 17 maybe even? Rather than much bigger, would then mean that you could use the same courseplay routes for all of the equipment, and you wouldn't then have the issue of the Tedden running on a different course. It's just my thought. Right, we've got some bales to be collecting then. Wow, we've got lots of bales to be collecting. This is looking like it might have been a good shout. Just want to give a massive shout out to everyone, and just huge thanks to you all. The last video that I posted, so I'm currently recording on Wednesday, the video posted on Monday. It was the Let's Play episode with that I did with the children, and included the bit with them in it. It's absolutely taken off. The number of views I've got on it is absolutely astonishing. It's, about 48 hours in to having been uploaded, and it's my most viewed video on the channel. So huge thanks to you if you have watched it and it's the first time you've watched a video on the channel. For those of you that are regulars, if you've watched it or watched it a couple of times over, again, massive thanks to you. The analytics, when I looked at it, did seem to suggest that it wasn't just subscribers watching over and over again. So just massive thanks if you're new and you've given it a watch. You've taken a chance on something new. If you liked what you saw, do go back to that video and jump on the like button. It is something I'm going to try and do a bit more of. I'm going to try, if the reception's been that good, I'm going to try and get the kids involved a bit more often. I'm not going to lie, I quite enjoyed it. It was chaos, but I really enjoyed it. And if everyone watching enjoyed it too, that's something I'm gonna try and do more of. So let me know, jump on the like button on it, stick it in the comments of that video or this video, but do definitely let me know if you want to see more, or even if that's the only sort of content you want to see. If that's all you want to see on the channel, let me know and I will try and make it happen. Good morning. I have shot through into May. So previously we were doing the contract in April. We're now through into May, and I have got a tanker with all the acetic acid that we've made so far. So we're going to take this down and sell this. Price is currently doing quite well at Lonely House, so we're going to take it down there and sell it up. I have gone with a few changes as well in equipment. So what we've got equipment wise now, I've got rid of the self-propelled baler because it was costing a lot of money, and actually I was finding that bales need to be shredded before going into the acetic acid plant, so actually they were less worthwhile for us. We were having to spend more money to then get the bales shredded, which didn't seem sensible spending that money to me. Right, let's get this sold. So the self-propelled baler is gone. If we're not going to do bales, then we don't need a bale wrapper, so that's gone as well, so we're not paying the leasing fees on that anymore. And the bale loading trailer, we didn't need that anymore either. We actually owned that, so we sold that. We've just made 17,000 from selling that acetic acid. I think this was my threshold price where it made as much sense to sell it at this price than it did as the silage direct to a sell point. But we've also got compost as well, so we might also grab a trailer. Right, well, I'm heading back again to Lonely House. This time I've got the compost. We have about 75,000 litres of compost, which is not bad. And I have leased this trailer. This is the Lizard TARDIS Trailer XL, or Trailer TARDIS XL. What are you doing coming up the inside of me? I'm trying to film. Honestly. The traffic is getting where you need to go really that important. Come on. Right. I'm going in front of you then. There is also a version of this trailer that is a loading wagon, so we are going to use that as our loading wagon. These are quite nice and cheap, so until we can afford to buy them, it will keep our leasing costs nice and low. And that's what we're looking for. They're not too expensive to buy. I think this would be about 15,000 to buy, so we will be able to start buying them and stop paying leasing costs fairly soon at least. It also, the advantage to this trailer and to the loading wagon that we're going to get, they have huge capacities. They're available for console if you play on console, so that just gives you a bit more option and a bit more chance to do some of the unrealistic stuff that you see on PC. So we've just earned just under 7,000 from that lot, which isn't a huge amount, but as I said earlier, the acetic acid was basically what we'd have got for our silage, so that 7,000 is extra money. And what we might be able to look at doing is using the compost to spread on our fields. Okie dokie, so we're back at our sort of base area, and I'm going to get this bunker silo put in. So we're paying 25,000 to have it put in. I'm going to have it put in around about here, because then our silage will be nice and close to the acetic acid plant, so it'll be nice and easy to load that up, especially if we're digging it out with forks at 1,000 litres a time. So, and I'm going to put it on this bit because we can't mow this grass anyway, so we're not losing out on any grass. So I think we'll go about there. So that's cost us 25,000. Probably wants a little bit of neatening up with the textures underneath. So currently in the bank balance we have 71,000. We've got a few new bits of equipment still to arrive, but the main thing is I wanted to get this in before we risked losing too much money and not having enough money to put this in, and having to take out more on the loan and that sort of thing. So thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to jump on that like button. If you're not yet subscribed, get subscribed. But most importantly of all, have a great day.